This particular dream is like, I ended up like I was catching a train in the city, but for some reason we weren't allowed to go in unless we had a Canon camera, and Fujifilm is okay sometimes. Uh-oh.
The train arriving on platform 3 is the Springfield Central train, stopping all stations.
Hello, so I just want to give a really hilarious update with the story that I'm writing. I've just decided to, instead of writing, because I had this section called dreams where I write about like all the recurring dreams, and then I thought like, oh, that's not that interesting. Like, how about if I turn my dreams into a movie? Like, if I could like combine all the random dreams I've had into like this massive thing that kind of like almost felt like its own movie. This is gonna be so interesting because a lot of times my dreams are just so random and really like funny that I feel like even in real life I wouldn't be able to come up with those kind of great ideas. So I thought, you know what, just for comedic purposes, I'm just going to add in this section where I'm just gonna tell a little dream story. So this is so funny because I had all these dream journals that, well, they're not really journals, they're more like just I wrote up basic recount of the dream, and I have some documents on the computer, so I was reading through it. And this one is so funny, but this particular dream is like, I ended up like I was catching a train in the city, but for some reason we weren't allowed to go in unless we had a Canon camera, and Fujifilm is okay sometimes. It's so random because it's like, to get in the gate you have to have your camera. So what happens is I declared my $10 remote control, which I don't even know why I was bringing that with me, but I had that with me, and then I was like, hey, you know what? This is my Canon camera. I, of course, like, lied about it, and nobody checked, so I got in, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, to get to the platform I have to go through this big tube. So I go through the tube, and it was all going great until I got stopped by a million lunch boxes, and I'm just like, what the hell is this? And then suddenly, like, I'm all of a sudden at someone's house with like all these cats and like, and so I'm just like, oh, then this random dude that is in my dream suddenly lost his foot, and I was like, oh my god, I'm trying to find the feet, and I was like, security guard, please come and help me find the feet, and then he grabbed the feet, and he was like, you're good at bouncing the feet, well, what do you say, you're good at, like, stretching out your feet so far, and then he was looking at it, it's like, oh my god, it's a freaking feet on its own. So random. I can't even like understand how I think in my dreams. I don't think I think in my dreams. That's the thing. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense, and it's a lot of times my dreams are based on like things that I'm like, like fears that I have, but sometimes they manifest into the most random things. And I always have this one where like I'm trying to defeat this really crazy monster, right? This like crazy monster that is so powerful, and I feel so scared in my dream. Like, I know that is a very powerful boss, and then I'm just like, oh god, I have to like figure out how to destroy this, because I couldn't just fight fight him, right? I had to like use some kind of strategy for it because it wasn't that kind of boss that you could just easily defeat. But what happens is every time I did get defeated, I would start a new life, which is like in my dream, I move on to the next life, and what happens is I would go to the next life, and I discovered that all these like people who I knew were missing, so I knew, okay, like they would disappear because the boss like defeated me in that way, and I had to go back in time. I had to like reset time to go back and find him again. With the knowledge that I've gained, like, doesn't that feel like a show? Like, with the knowledge I gained to defeat him so that the people I knew would come back. So every time I would go back in time for another try until, like, I got so good at knowing what, like, would make him, you know, defeat him in the end that I did. Or I didn't. I don't even remember what happened, but that was another freaking crazy dream that I have. That's a recurring one that I have a lot. And the one that I have the most has to be the one where I'm forced back into university, where I have to finish all my courses, and I'm always freaking like ruining, like I'm always not losing, what's the word? I am always trying to do my assignments, and then I realize I haven't attended half my classes and all my assignments haven't been handed in, and I'm losing on the tests. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fail 2 classes, so what am I gonna do? And I'm trying to convince my mom that, oh, I don't need to go back, because this is like a recurring thing. I think I'm gonna have this when I'm 90, 100, wherever I, like, however long I live, I'm gonna have this dream, because yeah, I'm just always dreaming about that. And then what also happens in that dream is that I go into this toilet, and then the toilet is full of shit everywhere. There's like literal like poop in every corner of the room, and there's like poop everywhere on the wall and in every toilet, and I'm always trying to find the clean toilet, and I couldn't do that, and I cannot find one. That's another recurring dream. And there's one that I'm always stuck in the Gold Coast. I don't know why the Gold Coast. It's like I'm always stuck there for some kind of school camp or something. And then I'm trying to find my way back, and then I realize it's going to be an hour, and I'm like not able to call my mom to tell her that I'm going to be late because like it's a school event or something. So that's like the recurring dreams that I have all the time, and I'm realizing, like, I think I have this thing where I'm just worried about like not calling on time, because that seems to be like a thing. And then I'm also having a dream where I'm losing my plane tickets when I'm trying to get back from wherever I visit, and it's usually the same hotel with the same country with the same whatever. I'm always in the same place, and I'm trying to find my way back, and I can't because I don't have my plane ticket, because I lost it, or I didn't book it on time, or we were late, or all my shit didn't fit in my suitcases and I couldn't get there on time, and I end up just freaking out and having to rebook or something. And that's another one of my running like dreams that I seem to have a lot. So I think I'm just like in over panic mode, and my dream kind of comes in as this like manifestation of like all the things I'm worried about. And then it's like when I wake up, because I'm just like, okay, I think I'm worried about things like this, because that's what I always dream about, like things that I'm worried about. And that's just so interesting, because sometimes something will happen on that day, and then it'll just come out into my dream in a form that is very weird. Like I would have never had that dream if it wasn't for that event, but because I had it, it would come in dreams. So yeah, that's just like this really random section I decided to talk about, because it's so fascinating. Dreams feel kind of almost like my second life, you know. It's like we have it every night, so I thought I just thought I'd dedicate a section for it. But anyway, I'm very curious to know, like, what kind of dreams do you have? Do you have any like crazy dreams where you feel like it's real? Because I always had thought about, like, what makes dreams dreams? What if they're real in other ways? Like, so you know what? Like, I mean, I know they're like, you know, happen when you're sleeping, but there's just part of me that always wonders, like, what if dreams are real? Like, what if it's another universe? You know, that's what I've always thought. So, but anyway, it's fun to think about it, and it's a really good idea to record as many as you can on like a very detailed document, because you will not remember this crap. And it's like, I would never remember that thing about the frickin' like the Canon camera thing if I didn't write it down. That was just so good that I wrote it down. It's so random. It's so funny. I can't wait for people to read that section, just because it's going to be hilarious. About to go outside and water my plants, because now it's getting hot, so I have to kind of like water most of them every day. Like not actually, no, you know what? I water the ones that are in small pots every day because they get really dry really quickly, so yeah. Look at these tomato seedlings. These are from like the seeds that I tossed in there and they're actually sprouted. I'm very happy about that. These are like the most delicious purple variety ever. As you can see, these chilies are slowly starting to turn yellow, which it turns yellow before it turns red, so it's beautiful, beautiful type. So excited. Look at the seedlings, they're getting bigger. Finally.